In today's episode, we showcase the finished Land Rover and build the portal and surrounding structure. Welcome to the ultimate wildlife sanctuary. Welcome to Prehistoric Park. What's up, guys? It's Moral again, back with another episode. Finally. It's been about 2 weeks. Sorry about not uploading. I just kind of got busy, kind of got uninspired, but we're back now. I kind of just built on this for about 2 weeks on and off again. And it was really difficult to get the inspiration for this. But today we are going to be building, as you saw, the Prehistoric Park portal. Now the portal itself, I already have it as a prefab because I built it the first day the game came out. But I mean, it's just water effects in a circle, so you didn't miss too much. But getting into the build now, the fence, I didn't hate the Triceratops fence, but I thought it kind of looked bad here, so I just made a new fence entirely and used it here. I don't think we need to change the Triceratops Creek one because it looks right where it is, but here it just kind of looked off. So we're gonna get that all sorted, and yeah. It really was a struggle to pinpoint exactly how this looked because there is so much material and some of it contradicts. So I had to skim through and try to figure out what I thought looked right and what I thought looked wrong. So I think I did a good job on that. I mean, let me know in the comments if you think I didn't, but overall, I think it turned out nice. I think it turned out fairly accurate to the series. The main problem for me trying to pinpoint what was wrong was the elasmotherium getting sent through the portal, because nothing there adds up in that part of the episode. It's it's in a dark place. He goes through the hallway and it's dark. There's corrugated metal fencing and a second story thing on top that was weird. And it just didn't add up. And I think the way I'm going to go about explaining what happened was that for some reason the elasmotherium ended up in the holding pins and not the portal and its holding pins, which are different. And you can actually see in the series that there is some holding pins in the back, but on the right of the portal, it's a little far back. It's kind of hard to see, but it matches up much better with the elasmotherium being caught. So that's my explanation for that. And yeah, we're just kind of building the gate now. There are 2 gates on each side, obviously. I didn't actually realize that until I watched the Dinosuchus episode back, and when he comes through, Nigel is he turns right and comes out the gate, and Bob says close the gate. So yeah. Now we're just working on the actual holding pin walls, which look different than the fences that come up through leading up to the hallway. which I don't know what term really I should use for it, but I'm just going to call it a hallway because that is what works. And yeah, I like the design maybe more than the actual fences on this holding pin wall, because it looks more like it would hold in an animal than these wooden ones. Not that they held in the titanosaurs anyways. I actually just noticed the Jeep and or Land Rover. Jeep is just so much easier to say, so I might call it that. Sorry about that to the car nerds out there. But the Land Rover, we're not gonna get around to showing like the speed build for it, because I tried to throw it in here and it's just like, it doesn't feel like good content. Like if I can't commentate it well, I feel like if I'm bored creating the content, surely you guys aren't going to want to watch it if you're listening to it, because it's just so hard to commentate, because it's like, I'll just be sitting there like, oh, here's the car thingy, the mirror, here's the windshield. And it's like, I just don't think it's a fun process. It's fun building it, sure, but it just doesn't make for good content. So we'll just showcase at the end instead of having to do all of the commentating. But yeah, that's not the only vehicle we're gonna make. I feel like I kind of started getting this reputation of a vehicle maker in this game, because I made the tractor and now I made the Land Rover, and I do plan on making more vehicles. So look out for that in the future. Honestly, I haven't even made a true dinosaur park in this game yet that is like follows the right mechanics, because this one I'm not using real fences, so the game doesn't count it as enclosures. And then the other project I've been building for myself is a aquarium with no real animals. So yeah, it's fun though. I mean, when you can do that in a game, like I probably at this point have about 30 hours maybe in this game, and I haven't even tried to follow the main mechanics. I think it just means that it's a really good game. And I can't wait for the updates, because they'll hopefully fix a lot of the issues. Because there are issues, obviously, it's early access. But I'm not going to flame the game on issues that are just early access things that most games go through. So I am excited for the new update, and hopefully it'll be relatively soon. I'm recording this the 22nd of May, and we are due a May update. So yeah, hoping it'll be soon. One thing I do have to say is that recording this whole process has kind of made it a little harder to just hop in and build, because I'm like, I gotta record it and then I will have to edit it and all of that, and it just kind of gets to your head, especially because I'm hitting pretty high numbers compared to what I'm used to, because of everybody wanting to watch new footage of this new game. So it gets to be a little much, but I'm definitely not going to stop. We might not have super consistent uploads of this series, at least. I mean, what am I trying to say here? it's just like the stress of everything kind of does get to me. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. I am glad I'm getting these numbers. It's just, I want to make sure I'm making good content, and it's kind of stressful. Trying to be like, is this going to be good? Are people going to watch this? And it can become a thing where you just watch those numbers and it's just bad for your health. But I'm not going to let that happen to me. I'm just going to make content, and hopefully you guys will enjoy it. And if it's content that's different, then oh well. If people don't enjoy it, it is what it is. So I just like to keep that kind of mentality of just, I'm making these videos to entertain myself and not really so much for you guys. I do appreciate you guys a lot, but I don't want to be in this position where I'm only making content for you guys and I'm not enjoying doing it. So speaking of content, I tried to go back to record some Planet Zoo, and oh my gosh, I've played this game so much that my muscle memory is just gone from Planet Zoo and replaced with Prehistoric Kingdom, because they're so similar, but there are the differences in controls. So I'll be trying to do something in one, or I'll be trying to do something I do in Prehistoric Kingdom, and it just doesn't work. So it was really challenging. I couldn't even get something done in that game. So right now I'm building the portal holding pins. It's kind of hard to think about it because it's like there are two pins, or two areas with pins at least. One is the main holding pins, and this is like the portal pins, which I don't know why they have so many, but I mean, that's up to Prehistoric Park and not me. I guess Bob made that decision. But we will have to revisit this area because I only got the actual portal structure down, and there are like buildings surrounding it. And I want to say that the main camp, or the main complex, is supposed to be somewhere either around this or maybe more closer to Suzanne's veterinary surgery, which isn't exactly where I thought it was, but it does make more sense that way. But that will be probably the most challenging thing, because we don't get very good information on how that looks, so it'll be a struggle. So here, it's kind of funny. I tried using the chain link, but then I didn't think it looked right, and it kind of looked a little weird because the chain link for some reason kind of works like a 2D object instead of 3D, which I guess just is to save with optimization purposes, but it just looked weird, so I ended up changing that, and I just went with I don't remember if it's titanium, or not titanium, steel, the steel beams, or if I went with like the generic shape pieces. Either way, we changed it up to those, and I think it looked better. Also, I did cut out a good chunk of like things because I kept going back and changing things and altering things, and just keep changing the same things, and I cut out a lot like that. So you will notice some places where it's like, wait a minute, I didn't see him build that. That's just because it was like I would just keep going back and redoing it, so I just sort of leave it here with the final cut and not all of these like first tries. So that's why I'm not sure if I left in the chain link or not, when I first built it, but yeah. And it's also why you might have noticed, might not. Earlier on, I did have to flip the build around because I had it facing the wrong way. The portal faces towards Bob's workshop instead of out to wherever I thought it was. So we fixed that, and it's facing the right way now. These scaffolding platforms or whatever, they were a nightmare. Like, it was crazy. It's like I'm trying to get them fit and work, and it's just they just won't. They won't line up right, and then I rotate them a little bit, and they're still wrong, and then I rotate them a little more. And it's such a minor adjustment I have to make. The game just won't let me. You can see, like, right there, I twisted just a little bit, and it still wouldn't line up perfectly. So that was something where I just had to be like, okay, this is... Obviously, it's going to be... If I want to make it perfect, it's going to take me 10 more days. So I was just like, you know what? I'll leave it how it was. No one's going to notice. And it looks good enough. It looks great. It looks fine. But I just had to tell myself, no one cares. No one cares if it's a little off. It's good enough. As long as they're like on top of them just about, it's all right. So we did that. And it looks great. Then we did the ones going from the other side. And it went pretty good too. Weirdly, there are these like hard shelters on the end, and I never really saw them or noticed them, which was like weird. And it never seemed like the shadows of these structures are visible. It's always like perfectly lit, like there's nothing above it. But there is like to the side a hard shelter thing. You can see the beam for it in the shots, but you never see it itself. So, or you do see it from like shots from afar or like off to the side, but that's that's not exact like showing it right on screen. So we got the scaffolding finished, and instead of doing it twice, we just copied it over how it was there, and turned out to look fine. So after that, we just kind of, not too much left to go. We had to fit in these gates here, and there's one for each stall, or set of stalls, I should say, on each side, so that you can close off the very end, or you can close off the far back two, or you can close off the far four back, and etc., etc. Which just makes sense, really, in case like you have a T-Rex in there and also have a mammoth in there. That way they don't end up meeting face to face, which would probably not end too well. Luckily, Nigel was there in the series when that happened for real. So we're just getting this gate in, and it really didn't fit. And I'm not sure why. Maybe the gate like was one that collapsed in, but for our sake, we just kind of didn't fit it. It's like, it doesn't matter too much. It's not going to be closed in the build, so we left it as is, and it turned out fine. It's barely a gap anyways, so once we had it all down, we just copied it over 3 times. We get the back gate in there too. And voila. We aren't done yet though. So we got a little bit more to go. I think all that's really left is the gates on the outside and the hard shelter. Here we're just planting a little bit, making it look all pretty. And we're adding some paths in. Here we go, building the interior of the holding cells, or pens. This is not a jail. This is not a jail for dinosaurs, guys, I promise. It's really simple. There's like a water trough. There's a water trough, and there's a pole. And I guess throw the food down. They just throw the food down. Like to the terror bird. And there are a couple of gates between A, the exterior, and B, the between holding cells. There are what's the word I'm looking for? Gates. I don't know why I couldn't think of that. But yeah. We just kinda did that, and then we were gonna put them on the outside too, but with the way it all fits together, it just didn't really make too much sense. And I think it makes more sense the way we did it, where it's only between the pins, because if they want to get the animal out of this holding pen, clearly they're just gonna open the mid hall, right? So why would they need them on there? Plus, it messes with the grass area that's kind of landscaped right on the front, which is a weird spot for landscaping. I don't know why they had it there. I guess they just wanted to look nice. And yeah, here we go onto the hard shelter. We're almost done here. Not too much left. I just kind of made a real simple thing here. It's nothing to write home about. Just a slanted thing. I had to change it, unfortunately, because the texture I wanted was... What was it again? I think it was part of the walls or something, and not the roof textures. The roof had some different textures, so I fixed that. I just used these off the grid. And we got those all sorted. I wish the game didn't do that, where if you select a lot of things and delete them, it only deletes like half of those. So you have to go in. The only way to delete them really is to just like delete each one individually with the just delete tool that's manual instead of the delete key. So I did that. It's one of the things I kind of have a gripe with. I always have to fight that mechanic, so, but that's all right. Here, we're building a little ladder. Not much to say on it, honestly. It's a ladder. But this is about all that's left, so I'm gonna wrap up here, and you're about to see some cinematic shots, so stay tuned. And I'll catch you guys at the end of the time. This is not a time lapse. I will catch you guys at the end of the cinematic shots. And with that, that concludes the cinematic shots for today. So I want to thank you all so much for watching. Please like, subscribe, and comment as it helps me out a ton. And I will catch you guys in the next one. See you later. Bye.